पूर्णमादाः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। From verse 121. अन्तर्यामिनमारभ्य स्थावरान्तेशवादिनः सन्त्यश्वत्थार्कवंशादेः कुलदैवतदर्शनात् तत्त्वनिश्चयकामेन न्यायागमविचारिणा एकैव प्रतिपत्तिः स्यात् साप्यत्र स्फुटमुच्यते। मायां तु प्रकृतिं विद्यात् मायिनं तु महेश्वरम्। अस्यावयवभूतैस्तु व्याप्तं सर्वमिदं जगत् इति श्रुत्यनुसारेण न्यायो निर्णय ईश्वरे। तथा सत्यविरोधः स्यात् स्थावरान्तेशवादिनाम्। माया चेयन्तमो रूपा तापनीयेतदीरणात्। अनुभूतिं तत्र मानं प्रतिजज्ञे श्रुतिस्वयम्। जडं मोहात्मकं तच्चेति अनुभावयति श्रुतिः। आबालगोपं स्पष्टत्वात् आनन्त्यन्तस्य साब्रवीत्। So having presented a variety of opinions about Ishvara, then ultimately the author says that the one tattva nischaya kamena, one is desirous of making nischaya or ascertainment of the nature of truth, nyaya gavicharanam, and those who want to ascertain the truth by vichara, by inquiry based on the nyaya, meaning reasoning, as well as agama, the scriptures, they will come to ekaiva pratipattisya, they will come to one nischaya or one ascertainment, and that is being stated now that Maya is a prakriti, the upayana karam, the material cause, and Mayi, meaning Antaryami, the Ishvara, is the efficient cause. Meaning that Ishvara is both the material as well as the efficient cause. With reference to Maya, which is the material cause, it is again Ishvara alone is material cause, and inasmuch as it is Chaitanyam, so he is the efficient cause. And thus, Ishvara alone is the whole creation, and so if someone looks upon something as Ishvara, someone looks upon Brahmaji, creator of Ishvara, or someone looks upon even a tree of Ishvara, they are all right because in fact there is Ishvara there. If someone finds Ishvaratvam there, the divinity there, someone finds something that is inspiring or divine somewhere, there is nothing wrong in it because it is there. So Ishvara alone is present in everything, every atom. And so if someone finds, when people worship a tree or when they worship a river, there is something that they find there, something that is invoked in their heart whenever they worship. So everything seems to have the ability to invoke that in you because it has it. Everything has presence of Ishvara in there, and therefore if something or the other invokes in you that devotion, it is quite proper, and therefore we are not opposed to. That's the reason why Vedanta is not opposed to any religious practices at all. Whether you or someone worship Christ or Muhammad or anybody, because anything that inspires in you a devotion, well, you should worship, and that is what will bring about a purification of the heart. And so there is no virodha that Vedanta has with any other opinion, because also every opinion is going to be a partial view, and Vedanta, being the vision of the whole, is able to accommodate or is able to encompass everything. And what is the nature of Maya? Maya chayam tamarupa tapaniye tadirana. So Upanishad says that Maya is tamarupa, the nature of darkness or ignorance. And how do you say that Maya is? So how do you establish the existence of Maya? Anubhutim tatra manam. Anubhuti means experience itself is manam or pramanam, the valid means. So experience itself becomes our means of ascertainment or determination that there is Maya, which is the nature of tamas or darkness or ignorance. What is that experience that you are talking about which establishes the presence of Maya? Jadam mohatmakam taccheti anubhavati shrutihi. Shruti says that it is our experience, that all over we experience jadatvam, everywhere we experience jadatvam meaning inertness, and everywhere we experience moha meaning delusion, or something that we cannot comprehend, anirvachaniyatvam, that we cannot categorize something or we cannot understand. So we find that we are baffled everywhere when we really try to ascertain the nature of anything. At the same time, wherever we look, we come across only jadatvam or inertness. So our experience itself shows that the cause and the effect is jada and mohatmakam. Then the cause also must be jadam and mohatmakam. So the nature of the cause can be inferred from the nature of the effect. We find the effect everywhere jadata, we find the effect everywhere is moha or delusion or confusion, that we are all the time confused or stifled, and therefore we say that is how the nature of the cause is. For example, when we say that Maya is Trigunatmaka, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Rupa, how do we say that? Because Maya is not perceived, you can't perceive Maya and see Maya as consisting of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. But then this Jagat or the creation which is the effect of Maya, this where we find Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And we find that the whole creation is composed of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and therefore the cause meaning Maya also must be Trigunatmaka. Now the teacher himself explains the meaning of the word Jada and Moha in the next verse. Jada Shabdasya Arthamaha. See, what's the meaning of the word Jada? And again, what's the meaning of the word Moha? These two words, the meanings are explained in verse 127. Achidatmaghata dinam yat swarupam jadam hitat yatra kunthi bhaved buddhi samoha iti laukikaha. Achidatma ghatadinam yat swarupam jadam hitat ghatadinam. So such objects as ghata, pada, etc., parts, etc., which are achidatma. So what's the nature of a part? Achidatma. Achit means not sentient or not conscious. So that not being conscious is the nature of this ghata, pada, etc. And thus we find that's the nature of all the objects in the creation, that none of them is conscious. What we come across always is inert. Even though this body appears to be conscious, but then what I actually perceive is not consciousness, because consciousness can never be perceived, and whatever I perceive is going to be jadam. So typical object is ghata, pada, and all of these are unconscious, meaning they are not conscious of themselves, nor are they conscious of anything other than themselves. This is the definition of jada. A jada, inert thing, is that it is not conscious of itself, nor is it conscious of things other than itself. That's called achidatma. Atma means swarupam. So achit or jadaka is a swarupam of which this ghata vinam is swarupam. So whatever be the nature of ghata, pada, etc., this is called jadam. So what do you understand by jadam? Jadam being not conscious. Or jadam is paraprakashyam, that which cannot reveal itself, that which depends upon some other light in order to reveal itself. So all the objects of the world depend upon the light of the organs of perception in order to reveal themselves. Like the sound can be revealed to me only when my ears illumine the sound, and the forms can be revealed to me only when my eyes illumine them. So we find that all the objects of the world, in order to be known, depend upon the light or the consciousness of my sense organs. So in order to be living, and therefore they are jaraha. Only one thing is chetanam, and that is atma, which doesn't depend upon any other means in order to reveal itself. So this is called jadam. And what is moha shabda samaha yatra? And what's the meaning of the word moha? Yatra kunthi bhaved buddhihi samoha iti laukikaha. Even the laukikaha, the common people, laymen also know what is meant by moha. Yatra buddhihi kunthi bhaved. Wherever intellect gets stifled, or wherever intellect gets stunned or stifled, that is what we call moha or delusion. When you cannot arrive at the nature of a thing. So every time you look at a thing, you find something different. Because a thing doesn't have any specific or certain nature. Everything is available to be looked upon from different standpoints, and depending upon which standpoint you look at it from, where you discover a new thing about it. Like this one can be called a cloth with reference to one standpoint, as much as it covers the body. But then from another standpoint it can be looked upon as cotton, from yet third standpoint it can be looked upon as even fibers, and so on and so forth. And therefore no one can say definitely what the nature of this object is, and this is how is the nature of everything. You cannot determine really the nature of anything. Why will a given thing happen? I don't know how these courts of law are able to ascertain or give judgment at all. Because to pass judgment on anything, you must know everything. And more you find that the causes, everything seems to have a cause in something else, and that has a cause in something else. In fact, if you want to, even if you ascertain that this person murdered, whether you call him guilty or not also remains to be seen, because somebody can prove that the fellow is like this because of his mother. Because he was brought up in a certain way, and therefore he exhibits this kind of nature. And the mother says that it is due to something else. I don't know whether I ever told you a story, a very funny story, which we had, how everything ultimately leads to something else. Everything can be, one can blame something else for whatever is happening. This was a story, a poem in fact, which we had in Gujarati. So here is a story about a guru and a shishya, chela. So So both of these were wandering and happened to go to a town, a village. And then they found in this village a very peculiar thing, that everything had the same price. You go to a sweetmeat shop and a sweet also costs the same thing, and then you go to a vegetable shop and spinach also costs the same thing as this rasagulla or rasamalai. Both of them cost the same thing. Meaning, if it costs 5 pennies for 1 pound, this also costs 5 pennies for 1 pound. And this was amazing. And this disciple loved this place because you can get all the sweets and everything else at practically no cost at all. And so he came and reported to the Guru. Says, this is a very beautiful place. I would like you should settle here. Guru says, well, you should never live in a place like this because there is no order here. When everything is valued as the same thing, the gold also is available at the same price as iron, for example, then that means there is something fundamentally wrong with this place and you should not stay here. And disciple says, no, I would like to stay here. Guru says, okay, you can stay, and he went away. And this fellow had a nice time here because every day he could enjoy his sweets and everything else which he loved, and he kept on growing fatter and fatter day by day. Now while this was going on, one incident happened there, one accident happened, that someone was constructing, a house was being constructed, and a bricklayer was constructing a wall, and at some point in time this wall collapsed, and one laborer died there. And so the complaint went to the king that this person has died because the wall collapsed. And now the king wanted to ascertain who is the person who is responsible for this. So call that mason. Who has laid this bricks here? Call him. And he called the mason and said, you are responsible for this. You are guilty of this murder, of killing of this person because you laid the bricks here. You did not do a good job. The wall collapsed and this person died. He says, well, I admit that I laid the bricks all right, but I am not responsible for the collapse of it. He says, why? Because that mortar that I was using, for laying these bricks, well, there is too much water in there. And therefore this fellow, see, in India, mason does only bricklaying work, and he has a helper who mixes all these, the cement and things like that. He says, he put too much water in there and therefore this thing collapsed. What can I do about it? So he is responsible. King says, okay, call that fellow who was mixing this and call him. And told him that you have done all this mixture and that's why this fellow could not do a proper job. Therefore the brick collapsed and therefore you are responsible. That fellow says, it is true that I mixed all this cement, etc. But then I am not responsible for too much water in there. So then what? He says, this is another man who poured water. So they have these other fellows who carry water in this leather containers, what do you call them? So they carry, because water is there in some tank someplace. From there they fill the water in the leather containers and pour. So this man poured the water and he poured too much water and therefore the mixture was like this and so I am not responsible. So that man was called. So you are responsible because you poured too much water in there. You did it and therefore ultimately this man died and therefore you must be hanged. He says, well, I poured too much water, all right. But still, I am not responsible for it because when I was pouring water in there, on the street at that time, this man was walking. This mullah means a Muslim priest was walking by. And he was so funny, he was so mean and walking in such a funny manner that I just kept on looking at him and therefore too much water was poured. And so I am not responsible. This fellow is responsible. King says, okay, call him. Call that mullah and told him that you are responsible because you are walking by. And therefore this fellow's attention was distracted. Therefore he poured too much water. Therefore too much water was mixed in the mortar. Therefore this mixture was not right. And therefore this wall collapsed. And therefore you are responsible. This poor mullah had nobody to blame now. And therefore it was decided to execute him because he is responsible for his murder. And thus the time came. Now what happened is that noose, he was to be hung, alright. They tried to hang him, but the noose was too big. This fellow was so lean, his neck was so thin, that that news was too big for him and therefore they could not hang him. But anyway, punishment must be given. And so king says, all right, call somebody who can be hanged, because this fellow is not suitable for being hanged. And so, who do you think they called? They caught hold of a man who was proper, for being hung. And who else but that disciple? He was brought because he has really grown fat. He was called there, decided to hang him. Why you are fat, and therefore you are going to be hung. This disciple says, okay, but the day was set. He says, you must give me some time. I must have darshan of my Guru before I die. So please call him from wherever he is. I want to see him before you hang me. King says, okay. So the hanging was postponed for another day. The king sent his man and called that Guruji. Guru came, everything was set up. This man was going to be hung. And then this disciple says, Guruji, this is what happened. I did not listen to your advice and now this situation has arisen. What am I going to do? Guruji says, don't worry. He says, oh, don't worry. Now he says to the king, the Guru says to the king, you please don't hang this man, I want to hang. You hang me right now. King says, why? That's how I want it that way. King thought that this man is crazy, who wants to die? The disciple says, no, I want to hang, you please hang me. This is my Guruji, not him. Guru says, hang me. Disciple says, hang me. Like this thing went on. And king says, what's going on here? Why are you vying with each other for being hung? Then Guru says, there is a very special occasion right now. The person who dies at this moment will go to heaven straight. That right particular occasion is there at this moment and therefore I want to be hung. Disciple says, I want to be hung. King says, I am going to be hung. And ultimately, it was king who was hung. But this is how it happens. When you want to ascertain, the cause for an incident, you will find that one thing leads to another, that thing leads to that, and who is responsible, what is responsible for anything, that can never be ascertained because everything has its cause in something else. Everything is there because something else is there. And so when you really try to be objective about things, you find that everything is okay or everything is not okay, whatever it is. But then you can never ascertain a thing to be such and such. So yatra kunthi bhavet buddhi, whenever you look at anything in the creation, you find that the intellect really stifled. You cannot ascertain the true nature of anything. And therefore, that is called moha. So laukikaha and laymen also know that this is called moha or delusion. And thus, these are the two things that we come across. If you take a pot, it is jada or inert, alright. At the same time, you try to ascertain the nature of this pot. You find that the pot is nothing but clay, and clay is nothing but some earth, which is nothing but some particles, is nothing but some atoms, and so on and so forth. And ultimately, you find the whole thing disappears. Meaning, it just goes out of your perception, and you cannot ascertain what. Right now, scientists also cannot ascertain whether this thing is particle or energy or what it is. And thus it goes on. So this is called moha, and this is what we come across everywhere in creation. Therefore, from our experience also it can be ascertained that Maya is both jada and mohatmaka. Ukta prakarena sarvanubha siddhatva lakshanam anantyam siddhamityaha. And therefore, sarvanubha siddhatva lakshanam anantyam. What is meant by anantyam? So, anantam, Maya is ananta, meaning it is everywhere. What do you mean by saying that Maya is everywhere? Sarvanubha siddhatva lakshanam. So, Maya is everywhere because it is the matter of experience for everyone. There is no one who does not experience Maya, meaning everyone at all the time experiences his Maya, and therefore we say that Maya is everywhere. And so since everyone experiences, therefore Maya is everywhere. It is siddham, this is what is proven, and that is what is said in the verse 28. Itham laukika drushtya sarvairapyanubhuyate yatti drushtya tvanirvachyam पांचदासीदिति श्रुतेः। इत्थं लौकिक दृष्ट्या एतत् सर्वैः अपि अनुभूयते। इत्थं in this manner, लौकिक दृष्ट्या, by the दृष्टि of the लौकिका meaning by the common people, एतत् means जाड्यमोह लक्षण तमो रूपत्वम, that everywhere there is jadyam meaning inertness and everywhere there is moha meaning delusion or confusion. So, or anirvachaniyatva meaning that nothing can really be ascertained as such and such. This aspect is that which is being experienced by everyone, and that proves that Maya, which is tamo-rupa of the nature of darkness or ignorance, is everywhere. Sarvaihi api anubhuyate. This is being experienced by everyone. So this is how the lakshanam or the nature of Maya has been ascertained from common experience. Now the question is, nanu evam mayayaha sarvanuho siddhatve घटादिवत ज्ञानेन अनिवर्त्यत्वं स्यात् इति आशंक्याः। ननु क्वेश्चन एवं मायायाः सर्वानुभव सिद्धत्वे, if Maya in this manner is a matter of that which is experienced by everyone, घटादिवत, like this घटा, पटा, etc. are all experienced by everyone and they are real, because what is experienced is tangible and real, and so if Maya is experienced by everyone, then it becomes real, because what is unreal is that experience by someone but not experienced by everyone. For example, dream is unreal because it is my personal experience, not experience of everyone. It isn't there, it is subject to reality, but when it is object to reality, like ghata, pada, etc., then we should say that it is real. Yes, if I see a snake where in fact there is rope, well, it's my personal projection, it's a subjective projection, and I can grant that it is unreal. But the rope is not unreal, and so just as this ghata, pada, all the different objects of the world are experienced by everyone, and in the same manner, if Maya also is experienced by everyone, then it becomes real. Jnanena anivartyatvam syat. In that case, merely by knowledge, this thing cannot be removed. Like you know a ghata as ghata, so by knowing an object, the object doesn't get destroyed. Because an object is what it is. What knowledge does is, just reveals the true nature of a thing, doesn't change anything or doesn't destroy anything. So just as a part cannot be destroyed by knowing it as part, because part is an objective reality being experienced by everyone, and so Maya is being experienced by everyone, and therefore it is objective reality, and so by knowing Maya as Maya, well, certainly it cannot be destroyed by knowledge. So jnanena anivartyatvam syat. So by saying that Maya is experienced by everyone, you simply saying that Maya is real, and it is real, well, it cannot be eliminated or destroyed by knowledge. Iti asankyaha. With this question, the answer is given in the second line. Yukti drishtya tu anirvachyam tu shabdaha shanka vyavrutyartha. This question can arise because when you talk of Maya in this manner, it looks as though Maya as a real entity because everyone experiences. With this shanka, to eliminate the shanka, it says tu, however, yukti drishtya tu anirvachyam. Anirvachyam means satvena asatvena va nirvaktum ashakyam. Yukti drishtya, when you really look at it, you really want to inquire into the nature of anything, then you find it is anirvachyam. Satvena asatvena va nirvaktum ashakyam. We cannot ascertain the nature of anything in the creation, either sattva or asatva. We cannot ascertain whether a thing is real or it is unreal. Sattva means existent or real, asatva means non-existent. So a thing cannot be classified as either one of them, and that is called anirvachyam. So nirvachanam means definition. Nirvachyam means that which is available for definition. Anirvachyam, that which cannot be defined. And we have two categories, sat and asat. Real or existent and non-existent. These are the two categories that we have. So either a thing can be Sat or a thing can be Asat. However, anything and everything in the creation falls in none of the two categories. It is neither Sat means real, nor Asat means non-existent. In none of these categories, anything in the world will fit, and therefore, in fact, Yukti Drishtya, when we really inquire into the nature of anything, we find that it is not real, but it is anirvachyam. It is something that cannot be defined or cannot be categorized. Tatra kim pramanam? How do you say that everything is anirvachyam or that which cannot be defined? Na sadasid iti shrutehe. Because this Shruti says, na sadasid, no sadasid, na asadasid, na sadasid, no sadasid. Shruti says that there was neither asat nor there was sat. So asat also is not there or sat also is not there. This is what Shruti says, and therefore Shruti says that with that statement that is called Nasadiya Sukta, a very famous sukta of the Rigveda which starts like this, Na sadasin, no sadasit. And since it starts with Nakara, it is called Nasadiya Sukta, na asad. So neither Sat was there nor Asat was there. It is Shrutehe, before the creation. So what is there before the creation? Supposedly, creation being the effect, what precedes the effect is cause. So what is there before the creation is Maya. And when the Shruti describes the state of things before the creation, in fact it is describing the nature of Maya. Because Jagat is the effect and Maya is the cause. So before the effect was there, what was there was cause. So when Shruti talks about a state before the creation, in fact it is talking about cause, namely Maya. And how does Shruti say what was there before creation? Na sadasid, no sadasin. Before the creation there was neither Asat nor Sat. How before creation was Maya, and therefore Maya is neither Asat nor Sat. This is what Shruti says, and therefore Maya cannot be defined either as Asat or Sat, and therefore it is anirvachaniya. Asyaha Shrutehe abhiprayamaha. What is the abhipraya? What exactly is meant by this Shruti? Na sadasid, no sadasid. That, meaning of that Shruti statement is explained in the verse 129. Na sadasid vibhatatvad, no sadasid cha badhanad, vidya drushtya shrutam tuchham, tasya nitya nivrittitah. So about this Maya, about the creation, different opinions are presented. As far as Laukika are concerned, or common people are concerned, the world is real for them. It is tangible. As far as the reasoning is concerned, we find that world is that which is anirvachaniyam, that which cannot really be categorized. Now when Shruti says Na sadasid, Asat was not there, why did it say? So it was not Asat, or Maya is not Asat. Meaning Maya is not non-existent. Why do you say that? Vibhatatvat, because it shines. So we cannot say that the world is non-existent because vibhatatvat, because it shines. And then no sadasi, nor can we say that it is real. Why? Badhanat. So since it is negatable by knowledge, therefore we cannot say that it is real. And we cannot say that it is non-existent because it is experience of perceived. So what is experience cannot be dismissed as non-existent, and therefore we cannot dismiss the world, all problems arising in the world as non-existent. However, we cannot say that this world, all its problems are real either, because all of them are subject to negation by knowledge, and therefore, since it is subject to, so asachet na pratiyata, Satchet na bhadhyeta. This is a standard definition. Asatchet na pratiyata. If the world were non-existent, well, you would not perceive it. Since we perceive, we cannot say that it is asat. Sat says, no badhyeta. If had it been real, well, you can never negate it. Since we can negate it, therefore we cannot say it is not real, it is real. And since we perceive it, we cannot say that it is non-existent. So it is neither asat nor sat. Says Bhajanat, how do you say that this duality of the creation can be negated? Nehanana asti kinchana iti shrutya nishedadityartha. This shruti nehanana asti kinchana. Iha means in this creation. So Dvaita Tadatmya Apanne Brahman, this Brahman which has attained the state of this duality. Kinchana nana nasti. Kinchana means whatever. Nana means duality. Dvaitam nasti. There is no duality whatever here. Here means in this world, in our experience, there is no duality whatsoever. So even though duality is a matter of experience, still it is not really there when you really examine its nature. So when we have only a superfluous look, then of course the duality appears to be real. But when we take a close look at it, then duality resolves itself into the non-dual. Just as an object that appears to be a part by a superfluous observation, when we closely look at it, it reveals itself to be clay and not part. And again when we closely look at it, that clay also reveals itself to be its own cause. And thus we find that every effect reveals itself to be cause, every effect dissolves into the cause, and ultimately the whole duality dissolves itself into the non-dual. And so it is said, Nehanana asti kinchana. Here there is no duality whatever. It is Shrutya Nishedhat. Even Shruti also negates the duality. What does it negate? Negates the reality to duality. So Shruti does not say that the duality is not perceived or will not be perceived. All that is negated is the reality of the duality is negated. And Shruti says that the duality is not real. Doesn't say it is not there. Well, it is there. In some kind of existence it has, but then it is not real. So really speaking, there is no duality here whatever. And thus by that statement of the Shruti, the duality is negated, therefore we cannot say that it is real. And of course our own experience says that the duality is perceived, and therefore we cannot say that it is non-existent. So since we perceive, it is not asat. And since Shruti says that in reality duality is not there, that shows that it is not sat. But how about other one? Sat asat. It is simultaneously sat and asat. Why not? He says sadasad rupatvam tu viruddhatvad ayuktam iti shrutya upekshitam. Shruti does not deal with this intermediate case that the world can be simultaneously sat and asat because viruddhatvad. A thing cannot be existent and non-existent simultaneously, and so that being a ridiculous position, Shruti has not bothered to negate that position, but Shruti has negated both sat and asat, these positions. Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. As Lord Krishna says, that sataha bhava na vidyate, asataha bhava na vidyate. Evam yukti drishtya anirvachaniyatvam pradashya. In this manner, yukti drishtya, when we really analyze it with reasoning, then we discover that anirvachaniyatvam, that the whole creation is anirvachaniya, meaning it cannot be categorized either as sat or asat. Iti pradashya, having shown, tuchhamidam rupamasya shrutihi vidvat anubhavena tasyaha tuchhatvam darshayati. However, with another shruti which says, tuchhamidam rupamasya asya jagataha idam rupam tuchham. The real nature of this creation is tuchham, meaning non-existent. So there is a shruti which says this creation of the Maya is not there at all. On one hand, Shruti says this Maya is anirvachaniya. From another standpoint, they said it is not there at all. Iti Shrutihi vidvat anubhavena tasyaha tuchhatam darshayati ityaha vidyati vidya drishtya shrutam tuchham. tasya nitya nivrittitah. Vidya drushtya, however, from the standpoint of vidya meaning knowledge, from the standpoint or from the vision of a wise man, Shrutam tucham, this whole creation is tucham meaning non-existent. How do you say that the whole creation is non-existent? Tuchhatva hetumaha, he says tasya nitya nivrittitah. In fact, Maya is never pravritta. Ajnanam is always nitya nivrittam. So for Atma we can say it is nitya praptah, and Ajnanam we can say nitya nivrittam, because in Atma there can be no ignorance at all. Atma, which is the nature of consciousness, nature of light, it cannot simultaneously have ignorance or darkness, and therefore Atma is ever free. So in fact Atma is ever accomplished, Atma is ever free, and still all the time we are trying to accomplish with Atma. This is called moha. So delusion is very evident in our life that we are trying to accomplish something which is already accomplished. We are trying to accomplish happiness, we are trying to accomplish security, we are trying to accomplish non-duality, which in fact is already accomplished, and still we find ourselves trying to accomplish. That shows moha. In all the time we are trying to remove ignorance from ourselves. And Atma, which is of the nature of knowledge, from that we are trying to remove ignorance or a sense of limitation. So sense of limitation that belongs to an Atma has been superimposed upon the Atma, and all the time we are struggling to remove the sense of limitation from Atma where it is not there. And we are trying to all the time gain happiness, which is already there. So this whole effort shows what? Moha, aviveka or delusion. But in reality, from the standpoint of Atma, there is no Jagat at all, or there is no Maya. So all these three standpoints are described by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. In 9th chapter, Maya tadamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avasthitah. First Lord Krishna says, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. This entire creation is pervaded by my avyakta murti, meaning my unmanifest form. That is being said from the standpoint of the one who considers the Jagat as real. And they are told, I pervade this entire creation. But yukti drishtya, but when you really analyze the nature of Jagat, matsthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avasthitah. All the beings are in me, but I am not in them. Meaning all of them are superimposed upon me. I am real and everything else is mithya. This is the yukti drishti. However, from the vidvat drishti, or from the standpoint of the knowledge itself, or Lord itself, when he says, nacha matsthani bhutani. In reality, these beings are not there in me at all. This is called vidvat drishti. And so vidya drishtya shrutam tucham. From the standpoint of the knowledge, in fact, this creation is tucham. It is shrutam means shrutya pratipadam. Why is it tasya nitya nivrittitah? Because it is never there to begin with. Prapancho yadi vidyada nivartayatana samshaya maya matramidam dvaitam advaitam paramanasatah. So it is said in the Manduki Karika, Prapancho yadi vidyata. If prapancha of the creation were there, nivartayatana samshaya, no doubt, then it would definitely be eliminated. Like the snake, if it is there, then there is a question of elimination. But then, maya matramidam dvaitam, that snake, even when it appears, is not really there at all. From the standpoint of rope, the snake is not there at all. Even when it is there, it is not really there. And so, by knowledge, when you come to know that this is rope, and then the snake no remains, you think the snake has gone away? Snake has not gone away, because snake was not there to begin with. Had it been there, there was a question of removing it or sending it away or destroying it. But the snake is not there to begin with, and therefore, when you come to know the snake is not there, it is not that, how do you know it? It's not the snake which was there has gone away, but the knowledge is the snake was never there at all. So when you come to know the true nature of the rope, then you know that snake was never there. And so also when you come to know the true nature of reality, you know that this Maya or the creation was never there. And thus From the standpoint of the wise man, this whole creation is tuchya, meaning non-existent. Upapaditam artham upasamharati. And this artha, which upapaditam, which has been now stated in these verses, upasamharati, he summarizes here in the verse 130. Tuchya nirvachaniya cha vastavi chetyasau tridha Nira maya tribhir bodhaihi Shrauta yauktika laukikaihi. Tuchya anirvachaniya cha vastavi chetyasau tridha jnaya maya. Aso maya tridha jnaya. This maya is to be known in threefold ways, in three ways. How to say? Tuchya anirvachaniya vastavi tribhi bodhaihi shrauta yauktika laukikaihi. Tribhir bodhaihi, by three kinds of knowledges, we have to understand this maya as really of three kinds. Shrauta yauktika laukikaihi. From the standpoint of Shruti, which has the power from this Paramāthic Satta, or from the absolute reality, there is no maya at all. So Shrauta bodhena tuchya kalatrayevi asati. Just as a snake is not there in all the three periods of time from the standpoint of rope, and so also from the standpoint of Paramāthic Satta, this maya of the creation is never there. So Shrauta bodhena, by the knowledge of the Shruti, meaning from the vision of the Shruti, this maya is tuchya kalatrayevi asati. At no time it is ever there, and therefore it is called tuchya, non-existent. Yauktika bodhena anirvachaniya. However, from our standpoint, when we analyze this creation from yukti, meaning when we try to apply the criterion of reality to any object, so we have the criterion of sat and asat. Sat is said to be that which cannot be negated, and asat is said to be that which cannot be perceived. When we apply this criteria to the objects of the creation, then we come to know that nothing can be classified either as sat or asat, and therefore everything proves to be anirvachaniyam. How we categorize? Laukikaihi, laukika bodhena vastavicha. However, for the layman who just does not know, who doesn't have the samskara of the Shruti or the Shastra, and therefore who takes what he perceives as real, like the animals who perceive that mirage water and take them to be real, and so the common people who think that whatever is perceived is real or whatever is useful is real. So the Nayayikas also would call this water to be real because asat kriya karitva, since it serves a purpose. So as far as Laukika or common people are concerned, what is meant by real? That which is useful or that which serves a purpose. So they would say that mirage water is unreal because it does not serve the purpose of quenching my thirst. But the water in this glass is real because it serves the purpose of quenching the thirst. So anything that serves the purpose is considered to be real by the common people. So as far as Laukika or common people are concerned, the whole world is real. As far as the yukti is concerned, when we apply the criterion of reality, we discover the whole world is anirvachaniyam. And as far as Shruti is concerned, or the Paramāthic Satta is concerned, this creation of the Maya is not there at all. And in this way, these are the three ways the Maya is to be known. Now what does this Maya do? Asya sattvam asattvam cha darshayati iti shrutehe artham asyaha krityam aha. Asya jagataha sattvam asattvam cha darshayati. Asyaha mayayaha kritam aha, krityam. So what is the effect of this Maya Or what does this Maya do? It is asya sattvam asattvam cha darshayati. Again the Upanishad says that this Maya makes this creation appear to be real, meaning it brings it into manifestation. Asattvam cha, again it brings it into unmanifestation. This Maya brings the whole creation into manifestation and again folds it up. This is what Maya does. So that which is not there, yadasad bhasamanam, that which is not there is made to appear and again the same thing is folded up. This is what Maya does, and that is what is said in the verse 131. Asya sattvam asattvam cha jagato darshayatyasau prasaranacha sankochad yatha chitrapatastatha. Asya sattvam asatvam cha jagatah darshayati asau. Asau means Maya, this Maya. Asya jagatah, of this creation, sattvam asatvam cha darshayati. Sattvam only means perception or manifestation. Asattvam means non-perception or unmanifestation. Meaning this Maya is the one that brings into manifestation the whole creation and again folds the whole manifestation at the time of pralaya. So Srushtikala, at the time of creation, the whole creation is brought into manifestation. Pralaya, at the time of dissolution, the whole thing is again folded up or wound up. This is what Maya does. Ekasyaha eva Mayayaha jagat sattva asattva pradarshakatve trishtantamah. How is it possible that one Maya can do two contradictory things? That how can one Maya alone can bring the whole thing into manifestation and again it can fold the whole thing? How is it possible? Drishtantamah, it is explained by an illustration. Says prasaranatya sankochat yatha chitrapatastatha. Yatha chitrapatah, like a painting, like a canvas. So prasaranat, so if you roll the canvas, now when you spread that canvas, then the whole picture before you is made manifest. Sankochat, and again when you fold it up, then the whole painting also gets folded up. So when the painting or the canvas is spread before you, then that canvas, like spreading, brings into manifestation the whole painting. And when you fold it up, the whole painting again becomes what? Unmanifest. And so this Maya spreads the whole chitrapata, the whole picture of this universe before you, and again the same Maya folds it up like folding of a canvas. And that is how the same Maya accomplishes both the tasks of bringing the creation into manifestation and again folding it up. Again, swatantra aswatantratvena, how does the Maya function? Swatantra aswatantratvena. Swatantra means independent, aswatantra means dependent. Maya is both dependent as well as independent. So see the Maya karyam or the action of Maya is being explained here. Maya brings it about, swatantra meaning independently, aswatantratvena, and being dependent also. Simultaneously it is independent and dependent. It is Shrutya Mayayaha Swatantra Aswatantra Darshite. This Shruti shows Swatantram and Aswatantram, the independence and dependence of the Maya. Tatra Ubhaya Uvattimaha. How is it possible that one Maya can be both simultaneously dependent and independent? How can both of these contradictory things abide in one? So, Upapattim, by reasoning, it is shown how Maya is both dependent as well as independent. And that's what is said in verse 132. Aswatantra hi Maya syad apratiter vinachitim स्वतन्त्रापि तथैव स्यात् असङ्गस्यान्यथा कृतेः अस्वतन्त्राभिमाया स्यात् अप्रतीतेः विना चितिम्. Maya hi aswatantra syat. One is that Maya is aswatantra, meaning it is not swatantra. Swatantram. Swatantra means when you rule yourself, tantra. Swa means yourself. So swatantram means what? Swatantrata means you rule yourself, self-rule. Swatantrata means self-rule. So Maya is aswatantra. To begin with, it doesn't rule itself, meaning it is not independent, it is dependent. Why? Chitim vina apratidehe. This Maya could not be perceived or could not be manifest unless Chiti meaning consciousness were there. Because Brahmashraya Maya, this Maya is totally dependent upon Brahman or awareness. Had awareness not been there, Maya could not exist, because Chit is that which imparts sattva and spurti. Both existence as well as awareness or cognizability are imparted to Maya by Chit, and therefore, inasmuch as it draws the sattva and spurti from awareness, to that extent Maya is aswatantra or dependent. Swabhasaka chaitanyam vihaya na prakasate aswatantra. Na prakasate, this Maya would not shine, would not be manifest. Vihaya, having given up, swabhasaka chaitanyam. So without chaitanyam, the awareness which illumines this Maya, or which enlivens the Maya, had it not been there, the Maya would not be there at all or would not be manifest, and therefore it is not independent in terms of its manifestation. However, swatantrapi tathaiva syat. But then, looking at it from another standpoint, we say that Maya is swatantra, it is independent. How? Asangasya anyatha kritehe. Asangasya atmanah anyatha karanat swatantrapi syat. This Atma is asanga, meaning unconnected or unrelated to anything, totally unattached to anything. Anyatha karanat, the Atma who is pure, nitya shuddha buddha mukta, is ever pure, ever free, and ever of the nature of knowledge, is made to appear differently. The Atma is limitless, is made to appear as limited. The Atma is pure by nature, is made to appear impure. So Atmanah anyatha kritehe. So this Maya alone is able to anyatha karana, meaning it is able to make an appearance of, it shows Atma to be entirely different or opposed to what it really is. And so this Maya does, and therefore it can be called swatantra. The interesting thing is, the Maya derives its existence from Atma. If Atma or Chaitanyam is not there, well, there could not be Maya at all. However, that Maya manages to confuse that very Atma, or Maya manages again to create a projection of the very Atma and makes it appear to be different from what it is. Therefore, Atma is both Vishaya and Ashraya of Maya. Atma is Maya Ashraya, because Maya cannot be unless Atma is. At the same time, Atma is Maya Vishaya, inasmuch as the very Atma is made to appear to be different from what it is. The limitless is made to appear to be limited, or the pure is made to appear to be impure. And this is what Maya does independently, and therefore it is called swatantra. Otherwise, had it been dependent in all way, then it could not, conceal its own ashraya. It's not possible that you draw your livelihood from someone and then you make that very livelihood appear to be, distorted, that nobody can ever do. And Maya manages to do that it distorts the very ashraya, namely Atma. Asangasya atmanah anyatha karanat swatantrapi. Atma is unattached, free, is made to appear to be bound, attached, and thus this kind of a total, 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 this kind of distortion or viparita karanam, total opposite nature is made to appear in Atma, and therefore Maya can be called Swatantra also. Anyatha karanam eva spashtayati. How do you say that? What is the nature of anyatha karanam? How the Maya brings about altogether, Maya makes appearance of something that is totally contrary in the nature of Atma. So how that contradiction is totally brought about by Maya is said in the verse 133. Kutastha sangamatmanam jagatvena karoti sa chidabhasasvarupena jiveshavapi nirmame. Kutastha asangamatmanam jagatvena karoti sa. So kutavat tishtati iti kutastha, one who remains changeless like an anvil. So kuta means anvil. How the anvil remains changeless in spite of the changes constantly taking place in the ornaments, and so also in and through the changes taking place in the names and forms, the Atma remains changeless, and therefore is called Kutastha. And again, Asangaha, Pushkara Palashavat Asangaha. Just as the leaf of a lotus remains totally asanga or unattached or untouched by water, in spite of remaining in the water, how the lotus leaf remains unattached, and so also Atma, in spite of the duality, remains totally unattached, and therefore is called Asangaha. So Atma is Kutastha, changeless, Asanga, totally unattached or unconnected. Tam Atmanam Jagatvena sa karoti. That very Atma is made to appear as Jagat or the creation. Because the creation that we encounter is what? Is nothing but the self. What am I watching here? What am I experiencing? Just myself. Just in the dream also there is a whole creation, where the experiencer of the dream and what I experience, all of that is one alone. So just as in dream world, this fellow is all the time only interacting with himself. So in the dream when I experience a lion chasing me, or a thief threatening me, or whatever it is, that lion who is chasing and the one who is chased, both of them are one alone in reality, because both of them are the projections. Or the thief that is threatening me also really is myself, and therefore I am threatened by myself. So therefore I am myself the source of happiness and unhappiness. All I am experiencing in the dream is myself, and similarly also in the waking world, whatever I am experiencing is nothing but the self. So that Atma Asangaha Chidrupaha is made to appear as the whole universe, and this is the work of Maya. This is called Anyatha Karanam, meaning bringing about totally an opposite appearance than what it is. Chidabhasa Swarupena Jiveshau api mirmame Jiveshau avasena karoti. Again the Upanishad says that this Maya also brings about Jiva and Ishvara both. So Jiva and Ishvara both are nothing but appearances made by the Maya. Iti Shruti Yuktam Jiveshvara Bhavam cha karoti. Same Brahman is made to appear as Jiva, and same Brahman is made to appear as Ishvara. So Maya itself is, when Sattva Pradhana, Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana when Maya is, then Chidavasa, meaning the reflected consciousness in Maya, that is Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana, is called Ishvara. And Malina Sattva Pradhana, same Maya where the Malinata is predominant, then reflection in that Maya is called Jivaha. And therefore both Jiva and Ishvara are nothing but reflections in Maya, and therefore same Maya creates the appearance of Jivatva and Ishvaratva in Brahman, and thus creates a duality between the seeker and the sought when both of them are one alone. And this is also called Anyatha Karanam, where in fact there is one, there is an appearance of many. Where in fact there is self, there is an appearance of the subject and object. Even though in reality object is not apart from subject, but Maya creates the appearance of the subject-object duality, Jiva-Ishvara duality, the seeker-sought duality, and this is the Anyatha-karanam. This is called Anyatha-karanam, means bringing about altogether Anyathatvam, or the contradiction, or something that is not there is made to appear by Maya. And from that standpoint we say that Maya is Swatantra or independent. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo